Hi everybody and welcome back to another video on my YouTube channel. My name is Justin Caffrey and these videos are all about ways for us to take affirmative action in terms of our mind, our body and our nervous system. This week I'm going to offer you a video diary of how I went through a 3-day water fast. I just finished it yesterday and it was a focus on how I could reset my mind and body after a period of illness so that I could give my body an opportunity to maximize its internal powers to heal in order to move back into my normal life. I apologize in advance because some parts of this video I am a bit miserable because 3 days of no food and only water is really difficult. But in particular, what I was focusing on was something that's called autophagy. And autophagy is an interesting thing in terms of its medical benefits, but in essence, keeping it simple, it means that the body, after it moves into a period of starvation and then it goes into ketosis, which I'm sure many people have heard about ketosis before, but in essence, where your body has moved into starvation and then ketosis, it starts to actually feed off itself. The autophagy is the benefit where we have cellular regrowth. Now, first of all, before we can have cellular regrowth, the cells have to die. However, we all already have dead cells within our body. But there's the capacity now, when you go through fasting, for the body to feast off those dead cells, to use them as food and fuel for you. And then when you start feeding your body again, your body then, using your immune system as well, rebuilds these cells and produces new vibrant cells in the body. 2016 medical Nobel Prize was won by a physician who really did a deep dive into autophagy and fasting. There's lots of interesting areas covered in fasting by people like Professor Valter Longo, who has a program called Prolon, where you can access ways to fast without being extreme, as I have over the last 3 days, and cut everything out except water. This was horrendous. My focus was not about losing weight. I did lose weight during the process. I'm not going to go into how much weight I lost because then it gets drawn into that whole conversation about weight loss. And this is not what I'm focusing on. At the end of the day, if you're trying to use fasting for weight loss, you have to adapt and change your diet post your fast, because otherwise you're just going to eat your body weight back to where it was before. I arrived into this process with a very clean diet. I already use intermittent fasting and have done for the last 2 years. So I'm coming into this with a very clean, predominantly plant food, whole food diet, and I'm coming back out into a predominantly clean, plant-based, whole food diet. So I'm giving my body a time to rest. It's important that you build up to a fast and you don't just rush straight into it, because trust me, it is really unpleasant and it's really hard. Also, be aware that if you have any pre-medical conditions, you should not be fasting without getting some necessary advice from your physician, and especially if you have any type of eating disorder. So let's lead into the diary. And just before I do, remember you can follow me on Instagram. I am Justin_Caffrey at Instagram. I'd love to find you over there. I post stuff on a daily basis. Come on over, tell me you followed me over from YouTube. I'd love to say hello. And you can see what I post on a daily basis about the neuroscience, the psychology, the philosophy. I bring in Stoicism, Eastern psychology, Eastern philosophy, and the methods that I use to maintain and manage my life, and the same methods that I use with my clients. And if you'd like to actually do a course with me, you can do that now at remotetribe.co.uk. So pop over there, join my course, 21 days. It's fully interactive. We've got 60 hours of video. It's an incredible opportunity for you to join. A wonderful resource which will give you a deep dive into the vagus nerve, the autonomic nervous system, Buddhist psychology, Eastern philosophy, and how we can combine all these things into making you a happier and healthier human being. But anyway, without further ado, let's check out the diary from the last 3 days of water fasting. Oh, and before I go, don't forget, please like and subscribe and press that bell so that you get notifications of my weekly videos. I post a video every week. I've got some more interesting content coming up in the next few weeks as well. So hit the bell, make sure you're ready to receive the content, and thank you again for being part of this channel. It's day one of my water fast, and I am fasting now about 20 hours. I don't really feel too bad, I don't really feel too hungry. Yeah, like it feels okay, but I feel tired, but I'm recovering at the moment anyway. So I'm bound to feel a bit tired as it is. I don't have a lot in my schedule over the next few days because I know that the brain fog is not going to be great. And the whole thing is that especially the first kind of 24 to 48 hours are the worst part inside of the fast. So pre my fast yesterday, I had breakfast yesterday morning at a relatively light lunch, a bit of rice, a bit of protein and vegetables, nothing else. And I haven't had anything else since then, and I'm just drinking water. So yeah, I'll update again later on. So just finished the meditation, coming up to 24 hours. Definitely need to meditate 3 times a day during this 3-day water fast. The mind and body go a bit crazy. It's fun to observe and watch. And now the body is starting to switch. So it's expected me to feed it, and it hasn't really happened. So there's a lot of physiological things happening at this point, which I'll update you guys in my next video. 29 hours into the fast, and it's hard. It's been really hard for the last few hours. Definitely dying to eat some food. No question about that. Thinking a lot about food, trying to distract myself by watching Netflix and everybody's eating food. So yeah, it's 6:10. I'm gonna go to sleep hopefully about 9:30, which will get me through most of the night, I hope. And yeah, and then wake up tomorrow, maybe 30 odd hours into the fast, so it might be getting a bit better. Right now my body is still desperately sending me all the signals to eat food because it senses that it can. I needed to hit starvation and realize that it now needs to start consuming all of my stored fats. But that can take up to 48 hours. I'm just hoping that it happens sooner, but I'll know later. So it's now about 41 hours, 42 hours, 43 hours into the fast. And yeah, it feels a bit better today. Yesterday was horrendous. The finish yesterday was really, really bad. So I ended up having like really strong bouts of anxiety, obviously lots of hunger. But yeah, my body was kind of going crazy under the pressure. It was one of the hardest things I've been through. Yesterday, like evening, was awful. So today feels a bit better. And I've got to go another day, so I don't finish till tomorrow to hit 72 hours. But it's interesting, what I'm focusing here on is what's called autophagy. Also, autophagy has been shown to have a significant impact on heart disease, cancer, strokes, and type 2 diabetes. So there's a lot of physical benefits in there for us as well. So yeah, and I'm just hoping that it's going to give me a nice boost after being ill for a few days. So yeah, right now I don't feel as desperate as I did yesterday, so I'll update later on to see how today progresses. Just been sleeping for an hour, so I felt really awful. It's just 48 hours now since I stopped eating. so about 90 minutes ago, really kind of wacky, delusional, really unpleasant, and then just complete exhaustion and sleep. So right now it feels unbelievably difficult to think that I'm going to not eat again for another day. But I'm going to try and keep going. It's the worst thing I've ever had to do in my life. It's Friday evening. All I can think about is food. Food. It's just a constant thought in my head now. Also, it gives me a great kind of reminder and sense of how ritualistic food is in our lives. And I don't think I'll ever not appreciate the value of food again after this. Can't wait to eat. All right, it's 8 o'clock. And I'd like to report now at this point that I feel so much better, and it's become a whole lot easier, but it really hasn't. It's horrendous. I'm counting down till I can go to bed and go to sleep. So I'm actually in bed at the moment, watching some Netflix, because there's a smell of food in the rest of the house. The guys are having some nice gnocchi. I can't eat anything. And Beatrice is watching, because my wife is watching the Great British Bake Off, which I would just be dead if I even went near that at the moment. So, yeah, I think lots of good things are starting to happen in my body now. So, my liver should be starting to cleanse. My kidneys are getting a good rest. But this is not pleasant. And I forgot to say, I've got my favorite special treat. Nice, warm water for bed. Change it up. Instead of being cold, have it warm a few times a day. That creates a whole new realm of excitement. About 7 a.m. last few hours of my fast. Woohoo! Sleeping last night was fractured. Probably woke up maybe 3 or 4 times. Yeah, thinking about food and wanting this to end. So I've just felt really horrible when I woke up. I'm really struggling. So I just took half of an electrolyte effervescent tab in some water. Kind of an important thing if you're thinking about doing a fast is to have some electrolytes. If you're using little effervescent tabs, you can just take like a quarter or half once or twice a day, really when your symptoms get particularly bad, because it means your sodium levels have dropped off massively, and that kind of sends your body into all kinds of deranged feelings, and it's important to have them to hand, because if you feel like you're going to break your fast, just take a little bit of the effervescent and then that'll replenish really quickly. Like for me, it's like 2 minutes into the body and everything changes. It can also be helpful to put a little bit of salt in your water, Himalayan salt if you can. Best use that. So sodium, magnesium in the body can be problematic. So you can make your own electrolytes, but the challenge is that a lot of the recipes end up introducing the potential that there's some calories in there, which will stop the calorie deficiency in the body and potentially inhibit the fast. So going for the effervescent tabs where you can see that there's 0 calories inside them, and that should get you over the line and through what you need. Okay, so I'm coming to the end of my fast. What's important is to resist the temptation to suddenly want to like shove a serious amount of food into your mouth. So really, really consciously thinking about what it is that you're gonna eat. I'm going to just have a little bit of soup. This is like a vegetable broth. So it's like, you know, I'm a vegan, so I'm going for this, but if you're non-vegan, you can go bone broth, or a vegetable broth. And it just means that you're, you know, not going too crazy. So I'm just making this broth here. So it's just warm water, some calories. I cannot wait to get this food inside me. But it just means that I'm waking my digestive system up nicely. I'm not gonna give it anything that's gonna shock it too much. Too much fiber at this point can be quite hard on the body. So go slowly, ease yourself back into it, and enjoy. Because man, I can't wait for this moment. A quick fire round of questions from people on Instagram. Come and follow me over there. I'll do another session on Instagram later on during the week for more Q&A on the fast, but just a few quick ones to wrap this video up. What were the biggest learnings during and after? During, this is absolutely horrendous and I don't really want to do it again. After, that was an incredible experience and I would definitely do it again. And also, I think I would very happily go for a longer period next time, maybe extend to 5 or 7 days. The other big learning is the learning that I've always had when I've done any endurance issue in my life, that we have an immense capacity to do things that we always believe or perceive to be impossible. Next one, that was from Alan Dalton. Thanks for Alan. Cool Green Pisces. Did you lessen your work commitments during the 3 days? Absolutely. The first day I did a few bits and pieces. Then the second day and the third day I just cleared my calendar. A lot of the time you're lethargic, you're tired. I was kind of sleeping a bit in the middle of the day. I was really tired. So yeah, don't try and have a normal day, week, and fast like this. Next one from Callan M49. How do you prepare your body and mind? I put in clips there of meditation. I've been meditating for 6 or 7 years at this point. It's a huge part of my daily practice. It helps me master difficult challenges, which is important. So I meditated more during the fast. I was meditating, I think, 3 times a day, most days. In addition, I was using, before the 3-day water fast, I was using intermittent fasting for 2 years, where I would fast for 19 hours a day, 18, 19 hours a day. So my body was used to it. Plus I have a really clean diet. I don't drink alcohol. I have limited caffeine. So a lot of the shocks had already taken out of my body in advance. So put your homework in, that's important. Raw for Health says, what do you think about adding lemon juice to your water? I covered this when I spoke about electrolytes in the video. You just need to think about whether or not you're going to be overly stimulating your stomach. If you go for effervescent electrolytes, you've got limited calories. If you're going to put lemon juice in, it needs to be small amounts because too much of that sugar sensation may have an impact on your fasting. The science is a bit loose on this point. You know, some people say less than 50 calories is okay, but you know, when you're knee deep in the you know what, you want to try and get it right. So I've gone for keep it simple, light effervescent. Have you fasted before and felt good? Sometimes I want to die and sometimes I feel electric. So I have used intermittent fasting, but not a 3-day water fast. And throughout it, I'd say I switched every few hours between I want to die and actually this doesn't feel too bad. So it's an absolute roller coaster of emotions. Be fully prepared for how horrendous you're going to feel, and you will love it afterwards. Remember, make sure that you're healthy, you're fit. If you need to get medical advice, get medical advice. Don't take my word for it, just dive in. You, my friend, are an adult. If you're not an adult, don't fast and don't even watch this video. Were you able to continue with work on a regular routine during it? Connell Heff, no, same as the earlier question. No, second day, you are basically fried cheese. The Feel Good Coach wants to know, did you ever stop craving food? No, never. I crave food all the way through. I watched a video the other day of somebody who did a 7-day fast, and in day 6, I think they stopped craving food. So that's why I'm thinking maybe I'll go longer next time to see if I can stop craving food. But no, it was like constant. It was horrendous. So this video has gone on too long anyway, and I need to publish it. So if you want to do more Q&A, get over and meet me on Instagram, Justin_Caffrey. I'll answer all of your Q&A questions there. Either message me directly or pop them onto the question board that's on my Instagram page at the moment. But yeah, let's share more about this whole fasting idea. I'm really glad that I did it, but I'm also incredibly happy that it's over. Thanks. Please like, subscribe, support the channel, and I will see you guys next week or on Instagram, hopefully.